Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, the newly minted $137 million man, Jimmy Garoppolo, and the San Francisco 49ers face off with Jameis Winston and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We are just a few miles from the Gulf Coast of Florida at Raymond James Stadium here in Tampa. Just a minute ago, it was Jameis Winston leading his Buccaneers out of the tunnel. They're on their feet here in Tampa as the Bucs get set to match up with the San Francisco 49ers. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Buccaneer ball club. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
On the other side of the field for the visiting 49ers, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. They'll be led out by their quarterback standing at 6'2" from Eastern Illinois. It's Jimmy Garoppolo.
You talk about the pause that refreshes. I think it's come at a perfect time of the year for them, hasn't it? You know, the season is starting to wind down, got a little bit of a break. But how about the guy calling the signals? He's got to be excited about that because now he didn't just get a game plan for 1 week. He was able to work on it for 2 weeks. I can't wait to see if they have anything special in store for him today.
And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. It was Mitch Unrein that made the tackle. And a quick look now at the offense for the 49ers.
And wide receiver Marquise Goodwin showed in 2017 he's more than just an Olympic long jumper. Showed more facets to his game. Not just a long ball threat either. Could catch it underneath. Nearly 1,000 yards in receiving. And had more catches last season than his 4 years combined in Buffalo.
And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down? And a quick look at the Buccaneer defensive starters.
And linebacker Levante David uses his speed and his smarts to overwhelm opposing offenses. Forced 5 fumbles in 2017. That's a carryover from what we saw him do at the University of Nebraska. He's a guy you got to count for on every snap.
Garoppolo going to try and throw on third. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's fourth down.
One-handed. Love the effort. Not much production on that play, though, huh?
Not a whole lot of yardage. You get that grab, you probably want a first down.
And he'll be the one in the film session if he said, hey, run that one back, coach.
Yeah.
Run that one back.
One more time.
Let's see that again.
2 more times.
And they won't.
8 more times.
They won't. Didn't get much out of it.
So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. Here's Jackson. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. A first scoring update now from Carolina. And it's the Panthers there out to the early advantage. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 27. They'll run for the first time with Lacey. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And we get a glance now at the Buccaneer offense.
And Deshaun Jackson is the guy that your eyes naturally gravitate towards because he is a big play waiting to happen. In his career, usually averages about 20 yards a catch. Last season in 2017, closer to 13 yards per catch. Look for him to be recommitted to getting back downfield and catching the long ball.
It's caught by Mike Evans. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A familiar ring to that one. Winston to Evans for the Buccaneer first. Now a first down carry. It's Lacey. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. And a look now at the defensive starters for San Francisco.
And Jimmy Ward is a former first-round pick who you can put anywhere. Slot corner, regular outside corner, or free safety. Sometimes his versatility may actually be a curse because he doesn't get to settle in at any one spot. To me, put him at free safety and let him go.
Now a second down throw for Winston. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's third down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete. San Francisco gets set to go here. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now. But the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, get the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
Over the middle to Kittle, complete. Garoppolo to his tight end Kittle for a Niner first down.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work, and that's a nice pitch and catch right there.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Vernon Hargraves with a pick. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Tampa Bay trots out there now. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
Ready, move ready.
Following the interception, Winston. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll bring up a second down. Second down, Winston. And he is caught at the 7-yard line. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. It's a gain of 13 for number 13, and it gives him a first down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Jameis to throw it. And that is caught by Jackson for a Buccaneer touchdown. Deshaun Jackson with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Bucs have taken a first-quarter lead. And, man, Charles, talk about zinging something in there. Those gloves, they help with one-handed catchers, the fun stuff. Any padding for a rocket like that?
One would think so, but I'll guarantee you this. After that throw, his hands will hurt later. Not right now in the moment. He's just feeling good about catching it.
Yeah, a little stinger, but a touchdown. Extra point good by Catanzaro. And that makes the score 7-0. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it's all finished off with a touchdown by Tampa Bay. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here comes Jimmy Garoppolo now to lead his offense back out there. And he'll look to rebound from the early interception that led to 6 points the other way.
And when he threw the interception and he had to come to the sideline, I'll guarantee his first thought wasn't about the interception itself, but what could result. And I know he was thinking to himself, come on, defense, bail me out. Well, they weren't able to in this situation. Now he's got to go out and atone for it himself, but he can't force things.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009, 2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. Got his target, Pierre Garçon. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. 23 yards on the play. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Someone's looking fresh, and this O-line is definitely licking their chops. Everyone likes to run block. If you're an offensive lineman, nice early burst, nice gain, too.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he tries to power forward, but he will not get back to the line of scrimmage. And the Bucs with an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Jason Pierre-Paul in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. They got to figure this out. They got to figure him out. 4 sacks last week. Now 1 in the first quarter. What do?
Well, great pass rushers usually have a go-to move. But the best pass rushers, they have counters to their go-to move. So they'll show you that. Then when you adjust, they counter it and still get to the quarterback. And you don't pile up that many sacks. What do you have, 4 in the game last week? Without having some go-to moves with counters.
And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 23 yards on the play.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. First down, Winston. And a catch right side by Evans. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
And that was a heck of a shot right there by Jameis Winston. Boy, he has a superior right arm, doesn't he? You saw him play baseball.
Yeah, he's actually a switch hitter in baseball. Outfielder, and then, of course, a very hard-throwing pitcher. That's translated well in the National Football League.
That it has. When he has to make that throw on a line, he's got plenty of arm to do it.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. They'll hand it off. Lacey. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. From the red zone now, Winston. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Throwing, Winston. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And here he'll get it down to the 7. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, ball's out of his hands.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by the former Super Bowl MVP Malcolm Smith. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
The 49ers offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up, but you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over.
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover. And wow, now we got to go out there and stop people. So yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it.
Defense.
Face mask penalty, and Charles, you were a defender. You know sometimes in the heat of the moment, it's hard to keep your hands away from that face mask.
Sometimes you just get out of position as a defender when you're trying to make a tackle, so you end up flailing away, and your hand gets into the wrong spot.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. First man through, it's the fullback use check. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short.
I know a lot of times we like to put players in certain boxes. He does this and he does that. But this guy, he can do a little bit of everything. He's not just a lead blocker or a guy who protects the passer. Handing the ball, he might want to get out of the way.
Second quarter now. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis with you. It's the 49ers in control of the football, and they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving. On second down, here's Garoppolo. Deep ball for Goodwin. And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers. Marquise Goodwin, his fourth touchdown on the year. And the 49ers are within an extra point of tying this thing up. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Robbie Gould on for the extra point. Gould able to tack on the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we've got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you've got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah. Will they make up for it? A dump off to Lacey, and he's able to get up here to the 26. They'll give him a yard on the play, and it'll be a second down. Now Jameis on second down. It's caught. Humphreys. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him up to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on third down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
This is taken at the 18. A nice little juke. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Niners will go on offense. First and 10. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll start on the ground with Breida. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Now it's Breida.
Whoosh.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, what they call play side. But how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key the left tackle?
Without a doubt. Control that edge. Get out there. You want that left tackle, or if you bring your tight end over there, either way, control the edge of the line of scrimmage, you got a chance to rumble.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he's able to get across midfield and down into Buccaneer territory. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Now that's the defense that they were looking for, being able to get extra bodies to the point of attack to deal with the big guy carrying the ball. You really don't want to be in a position where it's a one-on-one tackle with him.
Tackle made that time by Vita Vea. From the gun on third, Garoppolo. Open man is Taylor. He's got it. And the Niners move the chains as Garoppolo hooks up with Taylor.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Vinny Curry in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well. And that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. They run with Breida. And down inside the 35, he goes to the 32-yard line. 8 yards here, so that gets him back within striking distance. And now it's 3rd down. Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. And able to find Garcon. And down inside the 15 he goes. 18 yards there and a 1st down. Inside the red zone, it's Garoppolo. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked up by Levante David. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. Well, they thought they were going to break the tie. The defense had other plans. They were already in field goal range. But boom, an interception.
I don't know if this was a case of being a little bit too greedy with the opportunity to put points on the board. But give credit to the guys on the defensive side. Hung in there, battled, and made a key play.
Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time with just punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, time for them to give him a rest. Took the words right out of my mouth. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Great play there off the end. Question, Charles, in a 4-3, you hear about the D tackles a lot. What's the role of the ends?
What they want to do is control the edges of the defense. And you always hear about an offense talking about setting the edge in the running game. Well, the defense wants to do exactly the same thing. In the defensive end, often against an offensive tackle, sometimes a tight end, they can't let themselves get hooked and let a running back get outside, because if they do that, that hurts the integrity of the defense overall.
My man, the encyclopedia. Here's Winston, and incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. It's a 47-yard punt, but they did give up 10 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. They find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Can he put it aside? Let's find out. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Well, man's getting a little loose with the football there, right? Interception before, almost had one here. He's got to start taking better care of it.
Yeah, really should have been back-to-back drives with interceptions. He's lucky there. This is Breida. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. But the converse is, though, you've got to win those one-on-one blocks. And when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Able to haul it in is Kittle. And they're able to convert on third with a solid gain of 23.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Garoppolo now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Garoppolo. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Now a play fake. Garoppolo. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. The intended receiver, Marquise Goodwin, and it's third down. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored one, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Garoppolo again. Complete to the tight end, Kittle, over the middle of the field. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. 23 yards on the play.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. It was Jason Pierre-Paul who was able to get him down. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs, and they come up on 2nd down. Here's Breida. And he stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14. The Niners on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 9. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that'll bring up 4th down.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes it's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
Robbie Gould on now to try the field goal. And Gould is able to put it through. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Mike Evans and the rest of the offensive unit heading back out there now. He's been good so far to this point in the second quarter. Need to get him even more involved, maybe?
I would agree with that. Definitely. Yeah, it's not even a question for me. The way he's playing, he's doing a nice job. Increase things. More touches, more opportunities. Maybe that can reverse things on the scoreboard for them.
They'll try to ratchet things up and make... And the Niners get there and bring him down. So a minute 56 to play in this first half. We'll come back to Tampa after this timeout. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. To throw is Winston. And Brate, the tight end's got it. And now the 49ers signal for a timeout defensively. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. On third down, here's Jones. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. Here's Brian Anger now. He's been terrific so far. First down, Garoppolo. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Encroachment, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
It's a killer. Watch the football.
Still second down.
Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
After the encroachment penalty, here's 2nd and 5. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Taylor. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. Garoppolo, 10 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10. Garoppolo. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
Jameis Winston and company heading back onto the field now. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get him back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say, guys, let's go. Try and create that energy, create that spark.
Well, so far he has 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He'll be looking for that 2nd touchdown now. So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. From the shotgun, it's Winston. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
Let's go now. Ready. Blue lady.
Winston now to throw on first down. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Adam Humphries, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bucs are able to strike for 6.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Already looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
Extra point up and good by Catanzaro. And the lead is now 14-10. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it ends with a touchdown for the Bucs. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Here's Dante Pettis on the return. Then he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Around the NFL, second quarter in Indianapolis. The Dolphins have jumped out to an early lead in their ball game, and we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. They'll find Goodwin here on the right side. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Garoppolo now, first down throw. From the out route, incomplete. It's Goodwin. 12 yards there as they move the chains. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Garoppolo on first down. Over the middle, it's complete. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll make it second down.
It's interesting because when I'm watching college football and I'm evaluating guys for the draft now, my list of fullbacks, pure fullbacks, it's a very short list. I'm probably evaluating more punters and kickers now than I am fullbacks, but doesn't matter what you call the position, it's who you put there, and there we saw completion.
Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Here we go. Like 20.
Garoppolo, a final shot here before half. Caught left side, Garcon. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. So we've hit halftime here in Tampa with the Bucs out in front. As we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, bye weeks, they're over. We've once again got a full slate of games to get to as we take you around the NFL here in Week 12. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Now it's Adam Humphries on the return. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start in the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. Bringing it in, Jackson left side. So now we have Jackson slow to get back on his feet. Appears to be shaken up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down.
Pull down, pull down. Ready. White 25.
On the counter, here's Lacer. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Jerry Atauchu brings him down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Ready. Blue ready.
They run it again with Lacey. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Ready. Black 22.
Winston now from the 50. Open man has got it. It's complete. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. Winston to Godwin on the connection there for a Tampa Bay first. And they're on third and short. They just tried to spread the field. It worked.
And I think that the spreading of the field, the extra receivers, has really become the next in the evolutionary chain in the NFL. Go all the way back in that situation, you're handing it to the fullback, right? As we evolved, maybe you pitched it to your tailback. Now you spread the field, and you have your choices of where to throw it and complete it for a first down.
A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Nothing open downfield, and he had to get that one out in a hurry because he just knew he was about to take a big shot. Probably couldn't get his legs into the throw. Became an all-arm throw trying to check it down to his running back. Incomplete.
And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And Catanzaro's kick is right through, and that moves them up by a touchdown now at 17-10. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration, now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game, a chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down?
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Breedham. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on fourth down.
This team doesn't mind running the ball in any situation, and I thought he was going to get the first down the way the play developed, but the defense closed in and stopped him just about a yard short.
Call it a 48-yard punt. Give them 9, though, on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. A look at Jameis Winston now as he gears up to lead this offense again. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the third quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your coach? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
Well, that's what he's done here in this one so far.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10.
Ready. White 25.
On 2nd down, Lacey. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. It's a gain of 17, and it'll give them a first down. Jameis now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Jameis to throw it. Airing this one out for Evans. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Mike Evans, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bucs are going to add on to their lead. And that one needed a little time to develop because he started lined up out wide left. He caught that on the right side of the field.
And you're exactly right about the time because that's not going to be a quick developing pattern, but also great sight lines for the guy throwing the ball to see a receiver cross his face and his sight line from one side of the field to the other. That usually attracts your attention. If you think he's open, you go ahead and deliver it, as we just saw there.
Extra point good by Catanzaro, and the lead now up to 14. Just a 4-play drive that time, and it's all finished off with a touchdown by Tampa Bay. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on our side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments, and you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the first half, it gets ugly in the second half. They've come out with a new resolve and a renewed determination.
Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Throwing on first is Garoppolo. Over the middle to Kittle, complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 15 yards through the air and a 1st down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
4 down. Here we go.
And they'll run it here. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Kendall Beckwith on the stop.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Now Garoppolo throwing on second. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off near the 32. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
All right, Brandon. Normally when you hear about guys making 2 interceptions in the game, you're thinking, must be a free safety, maybe a corner. How about getting 2 picks out of one of your linebackers? Again, he's just in the right place at the right time. And that's another great play to come away with the football.
And we shift to spotlighting Mike Evans. And the previous drive put him up over 1,000 yards for the season. So now it's what you like to refer to, my friend, as gravy time, right?
It is. I mean, he's done it, right? He's accomplished the goal. So the good players, they relax a little, they bask in it. They think this is, okay, we've done what we set out to do. The great players decide to push that number as high as they possibly can. I don't expect him to.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Cassius Marsh in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13.
Ready. Blue lane.
Now a handoff. Here's Lacey. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
The Bucs on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd down and 12.
Ready. Blue lane.
Working out of the gun, Winston. And Winston lost the football. I'll call it luck or skill, whatever the case is. They're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
Here's Brian Anger now, standing just outside his own goal line. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. He juked him, and now he spins free. So a good spin move there before he's taken down. A nice little gain. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll make it 2nd down. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. On play action, it's Garoppolo. His throw incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd, Garoppolo. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
And they pick up a first down, and that came out of the fullback position. But as you and I both know, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a fullback playing in that spot.
Well, times have changed, right? The old school fullback doesn't really exist anymore.
We're not getting that same player out of college with all the spread offenses, not very many pro style where you actually have a true fullback. We're having to make do in the NFL and put guys in that spot who emulate it but aren't necessarily that position.
That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost as bread and butter as a good running back dive play.
Yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Garoppolo looks to throw once more. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Tampa. It's 49er football, but some ground to cover. They find themselves behind as we hit the 4th and final quarter. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Back to the air on 2nd. It's Garoppolo. The tight end Kittle has it on the left side. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Foul. Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And they've got another 1st and 10 as the penalty keeps this drive moving.
Here we go. Black 80.
And they'll go on the ground. And despite the fancy footwork we saw, they'll get to him just inside the 15. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
That was a really nice play. Be able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free, and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes, if you've got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. The Niners on 3rd down. They're hitting at 60%, 6 out of 10 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Now a play fake. Garoppolo. His throw caught at about the 5. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
Then we got to give a little tip of the cap for the defense there. Zone coverage, locked it in tight, made it really difficult because they tried the crossing route against it, and it worked for a completion, but you have to know where the sticks are on 3rd down. Didn't get beyond them, no pickup.
And Gold is able to put it through. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Mike Evans and the rest of the offensive unit heading back out there now. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. And it's Reuben Foster in on the tackle.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Ready.
2nd down, Winston. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Got the hand caught up in the grill of the face mask. 15-yard penalty.
So tough for a defender. You're trying so hard to make a play, and the way that these offensive guys can move around, sometimes your hand gets into the wrong place.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. the gun. It's Garoppolo. This will be caught at about the 5. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 3 yards is the gain that time. 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal from inside the 5.
Here we go. Like 20.
Throwing now is Garoppolo. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Vinny Curry in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
I remember throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. And they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. So the sack of Garoppolo. And now what can they come up with on 3rd and long?
Like 80.
To throw is Garoppolo. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he sensed being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. And Gold is able to put it through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So he remains perfect, 3 for 3 in the field goal department.
And it's so important for any offense to have an ace like him up their sleeve, isn't it? Because now you know what his range is, and as soon as your offense gets there, you're pretty much counting on 3 points going up on the board.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Jameis Winston and company heading back onto the field now. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup. I guess he was saving his best for last, so to speak. Longest run of the day coming here in the 4th quarter right there.
And that type of run makes for a better night for him and his teammates, doesn't it? To be able to produce this late in the game can lead to some big smiles and satisfaction in the locker room after this one's over.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Ready. Ready.
And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll set them back 5.
Still 1st down.
Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15.
Ready. Ready.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. Now we're going to get a timeout. Here's we've got an injured Buccaneer. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside.
Hey, let's get a conversion. Ready. Back 25 behind. Boys up.
Lacey. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. It leaves them with 3rd and just a yard.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. Hasn't been his best afternoon on the ground, far from it, but a critical third down conversion.
This afternoon just got better. All right, you're exactly right. Hasn't been his best in terms of yardage, but that run there, that's the one your teammates look to you and go, okay, that's what we want from you. That's what we need. Now they have a chance to keep moving forward and a chance to win the game.
They'll run it with Lacey. And he's got this one across midfield into 49er territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. So the solid run on first, and I would imagine no real hurry to run that second down play.
No, it's all on your quarterback now. He's going to keep an eye on the play clock and bleed things down, and he's not going to let the ball be snapped until it's inside 3 seconds left on the play clock. Unless, of course, you're playing a video game, you're trying to run it up on your friend.
Nice touch. Cold-blooded, too. Earl Mitchell gets him down there.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what was said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3 and out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
Ready. Blue way.
Now a play fake here on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. So it can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
On 2nd down, Winston again. Evans has it left side. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2.
Ready. Blue way.
To throw is Winston. And this is caught by Jackson. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively a backbreaker. Now a man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Lacey. He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
When you got your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
That's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down.
Ready. Black 22.
They'll run. This is Lacey. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain, and it leaves them looking at a 4th down.
Some good, strong running right there. Some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to perhaps salt this one away. And Catanzaro's kick is right through, and that will bump the lead up to 11. So his 2nd field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the 4th quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. Out on the field now, here come the 49ers. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league...
And he lost the football. And the Buccaneers have it.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a 2-possession game. It is a 2-possession game at this stage in the fourth. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
The Buccaneers getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time they were able to churn some clock. They got the field goal, added on to their lead. But that was a drive that was so long, it should have ended in a touchdown. You know that's how they felt.
And we'll both be headed to the airport after the game. But we probably should go to the post-game press conference because someone's going to ask the head coach about this drive, and he's going to profess that he was happy to get points, and we know that's not true.
Yeah.
Okay, after this type of a drive, not getting a touchdown, a huge disappointment.
Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win.
Ready. Blue ready.
Back to the ground, this time with Jones. And he stopped immediately there. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. Now this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop them here. On 3rd down, Winston. Hard throw, incomplete.
So it looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. On the left hash, this from 48 yards. And Catanzero's kick is right through. And that will get the lead up to 14. So they settle for just the 3. But clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off. But it's still 8 up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
This one taken from the 7. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a 1st down. Garoppolo on 1st down. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Noah Spence in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. On 2nd down, here's Garoppolo. Room to run past midfield. Complete to the right. This is Garcon. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a 1st down. Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Garoppolo now, first down throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. Garoppolo hustling him back to the line now. Garoppolo to throw on 2nd down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll be 3rd down. Again, they'll throw with Garoppolo. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. Now Garoppolo, gotta have this one. Good one, able to haul it in. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. On first down, Garoppolo. Over the middle, that's caught by Taylor. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. And he'll spike it with 16 seconds remaining. And that one goes incomplete. They tried something out of the bag of tricks, but it's incomplete and now 2nd down. And yet again, it's Garoppolo. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And before they can run this 3rd down play, we're going to get a timeout, as they'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. Garoppolo going to try and throw on 3rd. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by M.J. Stewart. Through an opening, and there he goes. 20, 10, and it's a pick 6. He brings it back to the house for a Buccaneer TD. And that one will pretty much erase any hopes of a 4th quarter comeback.
With emphasis, interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced.
Final act of this victory, the extra point. The extra point up and good, but this one was decided anyway, as that will be the final action in this ball game. Well, I know at points in this one you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So for the Buccaneers, they move back over 500 now at 6-5. And they'll have another home date next week as the Carolina Panthers come to town. Meanwhile, for the Niners, it's starting to look like it won't be their year as they drop to 5-6. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Seahawks in Seattle. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Bucs are winners here as we say so long from Tampa.